Welcome to episode 5 of the September Online Poker Series. It might kind of look like it's nighttime right now, but it's actually bright and early on day 5 here. It's a gloomy, rainy day here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So I got the warm lamp light. I'm just about to get started with my grind. I got some coffee. Those are the vibes we're bringing in. Yesterday's session was a losing session. Did make 2 day 2s with short stacks, so a little bit of a kickback is coming in the results. But yeah, pretty kind of iffy session. Some close spots with the all-ins. Maybe some decisions went wrong, and definitely a lot of run bad. So the schedule looks pretty great. So we're gonna put in a full grind. And hey, we're still up $8,000. So let's get into this session and see how we can do. All right, if anybody watched yesterday's stream, we had a very similar spot against Sergio. I ran into their ace-king suited with my ace-king offsuit and got very lucky. Today they folded. Nice little early Sadie win here for $215. All right, stream is going live. Yesterday I was not on Twitch, today we are. I have 8 tables at the moment. I'm not planning to go above that. I kind of want to stick at this or less. I'll do my best. I'll do my best to keep the table count around this many. I think 8 is kind of the top end of where I want to be at. Again, if I just happen to be like not busting anything and some more good games come up and I have to lay reg or something, I will. But yeah, let's get the grind going. I mean, after check raising, I feel like they have a lot of like King X and some draws we dominate. I guess Jack 10 gets there. I guess I'll value bet it. Damn. I mean, I feel like we just have like a bluff now. I mean, they could have King X of diamonds that we beat, so. We'll call aces. Be really nice to have a club in our hand, but can't have perfect all the time. Pretty good card for some of their bluffs still. I think against block, they could have a queen, so we just call. Yep, I think that's a fine played hand. I don't know. I don't know this player well enough to click fold, I don't think. Late position, could be random stuff. Nice. All right, now we're all in with the 8s. I wouldn't always play this as a shove in different tournaments, different spots, but early stage bounties, they're incentivized to 3-bet so wide that, or wide enough that shoving becomes like a pretty good play here. All right, see, King Jack offsuit, just happily getting it in. Question is, do we win the all-in? Of course not. Boom, look at that. We just won a $777 ticket early in the day for $80. So it's gonna be a fun tournament to play. Maybe since it's a $700 tournament and not a $500 tournament, that's where the run good will be, you know? If it's a $525, I will be losing my money, but maybe a $777. Okay, session a couple hours in. It's looking good. We got the 320, kind of a mid stack. We got a big stack here in this 109, 17 to get paid. There's 19 left. Of course, we got this $700. I did re-enter the 500. So yeah, binds and cashes is gonna be $28.95 and the cashes are at 1,052. Could end up being a very big day. Okay, so on the 525, we call a 3-bet with the 10s. This player's been very active so far. So I think getting it in here is good. We get it in against flush draws. I don't think they'll fold ace-king with the club. I don't think ace-king of spades will fold. I think they could have 9s. I think they could call off ace-5, maybe ace-4, depending on how gambly they are. So there's enough incentive to run it with our 10s here in the 500. All right, 9-8 suited, big sweat. Nice. All right, how sick is this? Pick up aces out of the gun. Go for the min raise. Small blind clicks it. They shove. I'm just like, can't even believe my eyes how much action we're getting. Call. They both flop a freaking set. Like, how sick is that? Bang! How sick is that? Ace on the river for the triple up in the 55. Let's go. I don't really like calling down these spots often, but I think this will actually be pretty decent on this run out. I think I'm gonna fast play a lot of 10x here, and I'm just gonna have a lot of flush draws that brick that they might want to attack on the river. A lot of weak pairs. Yeah, I think we want to bluff catch this spot with some cleaner 6x. Like, I think it's kind of nice. So anyway, hopefully they don't have it. Boom. Day 2 in the 215, starting up in 1 minute. So our cash right now is worth $830. We're one of the shortest stacks in the field with 8.5 blinds. If we can spin it up, it's big numbers for the final table, but we definitely need to spin it. So okay, we didn't have to wait long for a decent hand. Good luck shoving against the cutoff here. Might still have a touch of fold equity, but here we go. Ace, queen, jack, 10. All right, that was my second hand. So yeah, all right, 830. I think I'm happy to get it in with the king still, but it's interesting. I mean, my range under the gun is really going to struggle to have like these small pairs. Like 5s was the bottom of my pairs I'm opening, so yeah, we're just really hoping they triple it off here. Spade kind of sucks. Like, a lot of my calling range will be spades. I think we still have enough vulnerable hands though that we just probably want to check our range here. Boom! Nice. I don't really blame them. I mean, my range getting to the river is quite strong, but yeah, that's huge. We are now chip leading with 12 left in the 109. That was huge. All right, final table, 109, deep stack. Gonna raise call here as the chip leader. Any pair is gonna be a raise call. It's pretty much zero risk to our stack and the bounty incentive. Just gonna be a reshove in the 530 against under the gun. Snapped. Big flip in the 500. Just get it in with our range here. King jack. Chip leader aces is always a fun spot. They play call, it's actually a pretty good board for them. Still beat like ace jacks, ace tens, ace queens, king tens. Like, they still beat a lot of hands, but they could flop some good hands too. Pocket nines, pocket jacks, king jack suited. So it's kind of a, we beat some hands, we lose to some hands situation. I don't know if 10-8 suited pocket sevens gets to the turn. I think we just keep betting aces here. King queen, king 10. There's like so much. Except my bluffs should be like really ugly here. It's like a weird spot. Man, you gotta be kidding. 7-7 calls the flop. What a sick way to go from chip lead to last. I mean, it's just to get 2-outered on the turn like that. Not that losing that spot is impossible. They could have a straight, they could have 2-pair, whatever. It's just losing to that hand that is drawing to 2-outs against a lot of my bluffs pre-flop. Once that flop comes down, a lot of my bluffs connect, and my ace X is going to have good equity as well as a good bluff spot on the turn. So it's just like really annoying to lose that to that hand specifically. Still alive at that final table. Still alive in some good tournaments today. Yeah, we're gonna go B60. They can still bluff against this sizing and just target their ace X. And after checking back the flop and small betting turn, I would never fold against a jam here, not with the missing draws. All right, we're just gonna call. Not bad. Okay, we're back in the game, 13 blinds. All right, blind versus blind against the chip leader. We shove, they call, they have 10s. Running into 10s here as the second shortest stack. And we're not going to improve, so just unlucky. Unlucky. From first place to sixth, $400 cash. Hopefully a good spot for 2 bounties here with the ace jack. This player might want to gamble pretty wide. They have 145 big blinds. They're risking 35 for 3 bounties. This one has a 2x bounty as well. Okay, they go for the call. 7-5 offsuit. They have ace king for 8 blinds. They have queens for 3 blinds. And we're at risk of losing to the 7-5 offsuit. We need to beat that hand to stay alive in the tournament. And we lose to that hand as well. Okay, pocket eights, we're gonna reshove against the short stack. Also a short stack here. Sides on raise call eventually. They have ace king. Bang, finally, let's go. We get a bounty in a 500. Jeez, struggling today, folks. When you play like 5 days in a row of poker, 6 days in a row of poker, what the problem is that you start to, you tie in bad beats that you're taking in your current session to bad beats from previous sessions, you know? Like you'll hear me mention like, oh, another bad beat in the 500. Well, it's like, yeah, okay. Like, why are you even referencing the 500 bad beat from yesterday? And why are you referencing the bad beat from a couple days ago? Why are you even counting your results in like this buy-in range or whatever, you know? It's just, you know, it's bad mindset. And while I recognize it's bad mindset, it still affects me and I'm sure a lot of you guys. So, yeah, my mental game could definitely get better. Gonna try to kind of clean it up a bit and zone in. Session is not without its potential coming up, but yeah, definitely the most frustrated I've been so far during this series. Great spot with the jacks in the 500. Come on, break the curse. Boom. Yeah, nice to have that ticket locked up for the Sunday grind, 5:30 main. Don't need to think about it much now. Very good. First chance at a bounty in the $700 event. Against King 10 of Hearts. Boom. Let's go, 185. Actually, I think ends up being pretty close with 2-pair, but... Oh, part of me wants to fold. I don't know, they could still have air. It's blind versus blind. Maybe ace king. Dang. All right, so this is the spot in the 700. $277 bounty, all in. This player jams 25. I mean, I'm probably not going with like ace 3 offsuit, but I think ace 8 is definitely a decent spot to start. for this double bounty spot, so good luck. Okay, we're against Jack 5 and 6-4. We really need to beat Jack 5 here. This is gonna be disgusting. Okay, for the last 7 to get called here. Good luck. Hopefully we can double up in the $700 tournament. Big stack opens. Clean board. Whew. All right, 17 blinds. It's not a lot, but it's in. Drawing the full. They get 3-bet 10s and 9s and bluffs and ace jack and king jack and queen jack and jack 10. Ace 4 suited. This time it's ace 10. Big pot here, 28 in the middle. Nice. All right, please have ace king, ace 7, ace 5, 7, 8, something. Oh. That is disappointing. All right, we had this hand in the thrill, went for a check raise on the flop. They call, turn is the queen. I kind of like checking this one. We unblock clubs, hearts, and spades. Our 9x is gonna wanna check a lot. So yeah, I think putting this into a check's pretty good. Goes check, check, river's an ace. I think if we have an ace, we might wanna go for a block sometimes. If we have a 9, we might wanna block. A queen, we might wanna block. And, you know, we might have a really desperate bluff, like a 4-5, that maybe wants to try to get them to fold like Jack 10 or something. So yeah, it's kind of a weird spot, but I think block is decent with some parts of our range. And they end up shoving. I can have a queen and 9, so they can just shove any ace, or at least a good ace. So we always call, but they had 9-9, so kind of a nasty one with the trips. Mystery bounty with the big bounty still in there. It'll, like, you know, it's still not a fist pump, but dang, not gonna win the flip. That's too bad. Okay, we got a flip against Jack 8 in the $700. That's all she wrote. All right, so buy-ins and cashes at this point, 5,356 was the buy-in. So yeah, today ended up being a huge day, and the cashes are at 3,678. So we managed to get a couple of satellite tickets. The reason why I have the satellite tickets in the cashes is I like to add it to the buy-ins and the cashes, so they kind of just cancel each other out. That way it kind of accurately represents how many tournaments I've played at least. So just a little side note there, but yeah, so we have that big ticket that we won. We had the day 2 cash. We had the 109 final table cash, another ticket that we won, some other cashes. So, you know, not bad. It's a good day. Frustrating hand with the ace 8 in the 777 today. Frustrating finish in the 525 on the bubble there. Soft bubble. We were getting pretty close when we had the pocket 8s. That's a tricky spot, I think. Like, I don't like shoving pre-flop very much. Shoving pre-flop doesn't really solve our issue of running into big hands, right? Like, that doesn't get us away from running into king-king. I think folding is too tight. I think calling is the best option pre-flop. And once we see a safe flop, we still beat the bluffs, ace-king, ace-queen. We need protection with our hand. They could call off a 7. They could have ace-7, ace-5 and get it in. They could just run it with their ace-king. There's a lot. You know, it's very easy to rationalize getting it in with the 8s there, which we did. But yeah, they just had kings, and it's like, okay, well, if I played it like a nit, then I would have min-cashed very likely, and I don't know, it's kind of a sick one there. I don't know, just a weird spot. But this guy won the biggest bounty. We've only been in the money one hand. It's gone. Biggest bounty's gone. Anyway, we are in the money, so. Ace-10 suited again. With this player covering all three shorter stacks, I think their shoving range ends up being wide enough to call here with the Ace-10 suited. But they have kings, so good game. Wrapping up session number 5, we had 5.4 thousand buy-ins, so it didn't quite end up being the biggest session I thought it might have been. That first Sunday was the biggest so far with 6K, but just under 6K. But yeah, that was a pretty big session. We definitely fired some bigger games. Cash just did get up to 39.12, partly due to one of the day 2s from yesterday. Ultimately, we ended up losing $1,498. Volume was similar to yesterday, so some good volume. I think it's, I didn't play too many tables. Didn't make any day 2s, unfortunately. That's always kind of nice to have going into the off day, but that's okay. And for luck meter, I thought we ran kind of average. Anything around 5 is going to be just kind of an average day. And I think, so if I had thoughts on how today went, I think if I chose to play a lot nittier, it would have paid off. Now, does that mean my plays were bad or losing? Not necessarily. Did a lot of the plays where I chose the non-nitty option pay off? It almost paid off never today. Almost never. Which is kind of frustrating because I feel like I'm usually pretty good at being disciplined or kind of tight or passing up spots, waiting for better spots. And I have some of my best results sometimes when I do that, but I don't know. It's being very results oriented, right? Like if a couple of those plays worked out, we'd never have this conversation. So that's always the tricky part with poker. Results day to day could be just on a knife's edge, right? Poker is so solved in the sense that there is right plays to be made due to math and ranges and probabilities, but it's also like day to day, it could be so easy for it to go one way or the other. So yeah, I guess in hindsight, I would just wish I would have played tighter today, but I don't know if it's for the right reasons, right? You never know. Could have gone a lot better for us. So that's my thoughts on the day. I guess the other thing is that's 5 straight days, 5 straight sessions. And I'd say I'm definitely feeling it. Towards the end of the day today, I was kind of just not burnt out in a sense of oh, I don't want to play for the series anymore, but maybe burnt out in a sense of okay, there's been a lot of poker this week. I've maybe had too many all-ins this week. It's a lot of hands. I'm definitely ready for a day off. So yeah, I guess the timing's good. We are still very much up money for this series after this week. I'm really glad tomorrow's an off day so I can rest, reset, and kind of retune my fundamentals and my goals for this series. Just get retuned for Saturday.
Feeling out, Lumi, and the opposition is pointing fingers.
That's not on you. You're not on trial.
Any questions come up?
Brianna, what are we making?
We're making a cottage cheese cake.
Cottage cheese cake. And why we're doing this because we are health conscious, and we want a
sweet treat.
We want a nightly sweet treat. But this has cottage cheese, high in protein, Greek yogurt, high in protein, an egg, high in protein, honey, not high in protein, raspberries,
and a scoop of protein powder.
Protein powder. So yeah, that's the recipe, and we'll just kind of make it, and I'll show you how it turns out. It's all Rihanna though, so it's her recipe. So that's the batter. Happening?
I'm gonna hide.
What the? Thing is on the verge. What
Take it
the
out.
heck? What is that?
Oh my god, it's an alien! I'm taking it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can't leave it in there. Looking like that.
But it's so jiggly.
Oh no. It's like one giant muffin. Oh man.
It's gonna
Yeah.
It's so big.
Everyone make sure to make this recipe at home. Alright guys, that's a wrap for episode 5 of the September Online Poker Series. Full disclosure, I'm filming this outro on Friday, which will be my first off day from the poker grind. No tables on my screen. I'm just gonna get some life stuff done today. Might go see the barber, hit the gym, get some sunshine, just a bunch of stuff I don't really have time to do. As for yesterday's session, unfortunately it was a losing one. We lost like $1,400 and our day 2 got wiped out and we didn't make any further day 2s. So it was kind of a reset day. You know, we don't have any day 2s we're waiting for. Results are what they are. We're up about $6,000 for the series. So I kind of see it as a reset and we're gonna go into next week, Saturday, feeling pretty good about how the week went. Surprisingly, I would love to play poker today. I would love to get some revenge on how yesterday's session went, but definitely a good idea to take the off day and rest up. So I'll see you guys on Saturday for the next session and enjoy the highlight video that'll be on the off day tomorrow. So it'll be today's vlog, tomorrow highlight video, next day vlog is back. So see you guys then. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.